Audio newsletter number 67, dropped from your agent. Now what? So we recently got an email from a voiceover talent who said, been dropped from my agent of 10 years. What do I do? In the body of her email, she went on to say, I think my main problem is knowing I suck at engineering, and that's what a lot of clients want now, a voiceover artist and sound engineer. I love just the voiceover part of it, but really get frustrated with the engineering part. We asked her to share this email with you because 1, it's relatable, and 2, you may benefit from it as well. What do you do in a situation like this? Are there things that you as a voiceover talent can do from preventing it from happening? First of all, for many voiceover talent, the engineering or technical part of voiceover is the hardest part, at least on the day-to-day. It's a lot to have to work on the craft and then figure out the tech part as well. Like for Heidi, when it comes to using a DAW like Adobe Audition, she didn't really know how to use it that well. I mean, we both used it when we were in radio. It used to be called Cool Edit Pro, but it wasn't until she took Larry Hudson's Learn Adobe Audition class that she came out feeling so comfortable and understanding exactly what she needed to do for every audition and every session. And that's just Larry. He checks up on you during the week, and that by the end, you feel comfortable knowing exactly what you need to do. And by the end of it for Heidi, she never felt more capable. If the technical is actually something that you struggle with, well, consider taking Larry's Learn Adobe Audition class or Learn Audacity or Adam Schneider's Learn Pro Tools course. There's a free version of Pro Tools that's fantastic for voiceover talent. And then if you want to dig deep and work on your home studio, that's what we have Dan Friedman for. You can set up a consult with him and he'll get you straightened out, everything from equipment to sound treatment and beyond. I'll link all that in the notes. Now to being dropped by an agent. Hopefully it won't happen to you, but if it does, don't stress. Here's what you need to do. 1. Respectfully ask for a reason. If your agent didn't give you a reason for dropping you from the roster, then reach back out. Thank them for all the time and all the opportunities over the year or years. Remember, this is a business decision for them, so it's got to be a business communication from you. Politely ask if there was a specific reason that they chose to drop you from their roster, and then follow it up with, because if it's something that I did, I want to work on it, grow, and not make those mistakes again. Now, they may not give you a reason, but often, we can probably figure it out ourselves using number 2, abductive reasoning. If your agent didn't give you a reason or it was a very vague one, use abductive reasoning to determine ways that you can grow and add value to a talent agency. And here's the point where you say, Mike, I've never heard about abductive reasoning. What is that? Abductive reasoning seeks the most likely conclusion from a set of observations. So this may help you to get started. Stacy Stahl, founder of the great In Both Ears agency in Portland, Oregon, shared what she and her team go over when they consider keeping a talent or not. The first one, are they booking and how long has it been since their last session? Are they passing on auditions more than they're auditioning? Are they showing up as excellent in their auditions? And what are they doing to stay excellent? Are they doing private coaching? Are they taking classes, workshops? I'll add that these days, it also may be the sound of your auditions. How's your home studio set up? And finally, if you do find yourself dropped by an agent, number 3, create an action plan. Based on what your agent said and or your conclusion, set up an action plan to work on those things. Maybe set up a private coaching session. Have a coach listen to some of your recent auditions. Or maybe you've been busy. Has life gotten in the way of you auditioning? It happens. See if you can carve out more space to be available for those auditions when they roll in. If you can't, maybe it's time to take a break from voiceover. If it's a busy time of life, you can always come back. But what you shouldn't do is get discouraged, give up totally, or think that you suck. Remember, if you are already able to get on board with an agency, that means you've put in the work in your voiceover business, and you can get another one. Doesn't hurt to beef up on things if you need to. Remember, you were good enough to already get on that agency, and if they drop you, you don't have to let that define you. It shouldn't. Just remember, being on with an agency is a partnership. Not all partnerships are going to work, and it definitely isn't a cue that you should throw in the towel. Use it as motivation to work on certain areas of your business. Or maybe, like I said, time to just take a break. Take a couple weeks off, take a month off, maybe take a 3-month sabbatical from VO. And during that time, rest, create that action plan, and come back stronger than ever. You're operating a voiceover business, and as with all businesses, there's going to be times that are great and times that are not so great. Let me give you a few examples from my life and Heidi's life. Heidi shared the story about when she booked a voiceover gig, and as soon as she stepped in the booth, within a few seconds, the creative director just goes, "Oh, no, 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 no." Can you imagine that happening to you? They recast her, but it wasn't her. Something happened in the communication with who they wanted to hire as a voiceover talent. She was not his choice, and honestly, he did a really poor and unprofessional job of letting her know. For me, and I'm going to throw out numbers here, I was booked on a gig where it was going to be $8 grand. It was a fantastic gig. I go in just up the street. It used to be Creative Sound Concepts. Now it's Westside Studios. We're in there for 2 to 3 hours. Everybody's loving what they're getting. They ended up sending the heroes and everything to the client after they put it to picture. And the client ended up liking the original scratch track voiceover. So I was replaced for the whole thing. The bad part about that is, in my brain, I already spent that $8 grand. Oh, my backyard was gonna look so good. So after that, I felt like crap. Not because of the money, but it was more along the lines of, this was gonna be a really cool gig. It happens. It'll probably happen again. So what do? We hang in there. We keep pushing forward and realize that it's just business. And then there's both of us. We can't count on 20 hands and feet how many times we've been on hold for a project and then released. Doesn't feel good, but it happens. But the other thing is, it could also turn in your direction as well. And finally, one more example. Heidi and I both do on camera, and we got booked on a Georgia Lottery commercial as husband and wife. Hardly ever happens, usually because I'm way older than she is. But we both got hired. We go to the fitting. Everything's looking great. Get the thumbs up from everybody. We're like, this is going to be a great shoot. That night, after the fitting, Heidi gets a call saying that she's been released. I'm still doing it, but she's been released. So who was she replaced with? My new wife on screen was a woman who was 16 years my junior. Now in that moment, Heidi or any other actor could say, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not XYZ enough. But I think for this, it was more of an essence. She and Heidi were totally different. And because I have more of that nice guy characteristic on screen, my new wife didn't have that as much. It happens. And when it does, it can feel brutal. I share these stories with you because we just want to be open and honest with things that happen in this industry and the on-camera industry as well, obviously. It doesn't happen all the time. Things happen, good and bad. You just have to keep rolling with the punches. And you will. This is why you train. This is why you invest in yourself and your home studio. And if you're like me and Heidi, you go see a counselor too when things get weird. Mental health is huge. Make sure you take care of yours. Hope that helps. Coming up within a week or so, I've got another video coming out where I talk with 3 agencies and they share why they would actually drop a talent. Pretty interesting. Till then, our mission is to equip, elevate, and inspire you in your voiceover journey. We want to give you the tools and resources to help you create the voiceover career you want. Cheers to your voiceover journey.